Chapter 2. The transition from the 1950s warmth of the office to the cold, clinical reality of the TR-3B was like stepping out of a dream and into a nightmare designed by a mad geometer. Sam set the Resurrection Protocol strut onto a velvet-lined lead tray. The artifact continued to hum, a low, lonely sound that vibrated in the marrow of his teeth.
You're right, Biff. Between ancient moon god instructions and pigeon-painted camouflage, or a sitting duck, or a sitting hedge. Either way, we move.
They stepped through the office door, leaving the smell of oak and herb behind. The interior of the Astra unfolded, a cathedral of matte black carbon fiber and pulsing fiber optic veins. They walked along the corridor toward the cockpit, a journey of 100 meters that felt longer due to the Tesseract's habit of stretching the floorboards when it was hungry for power. They passed the medical wing, where surgical lasers hung like frozen lightning, and the decontamination showers that smelled of ionizing radiation and mint. Then came the hydroponic sanctuary. Through the reinforced glass, Sam caught a glimpse of his true prize, rows of emerald green cannabis plants swaying in the synthetic breeze. The speculative strain was growing well, fed by nutrient-rich water and light frequencies that didn't exist in the natural world. It was a forest of tranquility, buried in the heart of a war machine.
The plantation is at 40% humidity, Sam. Optimal for resin production.
Biff remarked, not breaking his mechanical stride.
Though using a zero-point reactor is inefficient.
Efficient or not, it's the best smoke in the galaxy.
It keeps me sane, Biff. Sanity is the rarest resource in this galaxy.
They reached the control nexus. The seating was a pair of custom-molded gravity couches. Sam's was worn leather. Biff's was a reinforced titanium throne designed to interface directly with the ship's nervous system. The dash wasn't a mess of buttons. It was a wraparound sheet of liquid glass that projected data directly into the pilot's retinas. Biff strapped in, his synthetic fingers dancing across the console. He paused, pointing a trembling hand at the main forward viewing array.
Look at this, Sam. It's a tragedy.
A biological insult.
Through the high-definition external cameras, the screen showed a smear of white, a chalky avian waste directly over the primary optical sensor. It looked like a Jackson Pollock painting executed by a very angry seagull.
The birds haven't just pooped, Sam. They've established a colony on the projection. Engage the ring, we vaporize a dozen sparrows.
Paperwork for the Watchers Environmental Committee would be staggering.
Scrub the sensors, Biff. Use the exterior plasma wash.
Sam commanded, gripping the controls.
We're going up.
We'll park in the upper stationary orbit.
Disguise set to cumulus cloud.
Out an empty sky. We'll hang over the forest until the sun goes down.
Nobody looks at the same cloud for 6 hours.
The Astra didn't roar. It didn't have engines to ignite. Instead, the air around the craft began to shimmer and warp. Gravity simply stopped applying to them. With a stomach-flipping lurch, the warehouse-sized triangle slipped the surly bonds of the parking lot and ghosted toward the heavens, a secret piece of the moon's history tucked away in its belly. The ascent was a masterclass in silent physics, a whispered defiance of everything Newton held dear. The TR-3B didn't fight the air. It simply existed in a pocket of space where the air didn't matter. However, even the most advanced clandestine technology in the solar system couldn't account for the human clutter.
A muffled thump-thump
Echoed through the carbon fiber hull, vibrating up through the floor of the cockpit.
Dagnabbit!
Sam barked, slapping the armrest of his leather gravity couch.
There goes my surfing annuals.
I left them on the exterior ledge. I was checking foliage emitters.
Biff didn't turn his head, but his optical sensors performed a judgmental little 360-degree whirl.
A fascinating tactical choice, Sam. Dropping 20th century memorabilia from a classified platform. Some child in the valley is about to have a very confusing afternoon discovering the 1984 Big Wave edition falling from a clear blue sky.
They were collector's items, Biff. Real paper.
Sam grumbled, watching the altimeter climb.
Just keep us steady.
Biff's synthetic hands moved with the grace of a concert pianist, nudging the Astra into a perfect stationary vector. They hit 35,000 feet and leveled off. Below them, the forest was a carpet of deep broccoli green. Above, the atmosphere began to thin into a bruised purple. Biff engaged the auto-hold and deployed the S-Crub unit, a spider-like cleaning droid that crawled out of a hull seam to begin the grim work of guano removal.
The S-Crub is active,
Biff announced.
It will ensure every microscopic trace of avian defiance is neutralized.
I have programmed it to be thorough. Not a smudge will remain to betray our silhouette.
Sam looked at the glowing clock on the liquid glass dash. They had 6 hours. 6 hours of silence in the sky to crack the code of the Apollo 20 artifact before the Watchers expected a status report.
The Watchers are breathing down my neck about the mileage, Biff.
Sam said, leaning back as the 0-point energy generator hummed a low, haunting B-flat.
They don't want us joyriding around the planet. Apparently, the Z-point bloom is starting to show up as a gravitational ghost. If we stay in one spot too long, we're a target. If we move too much, we're a beacon. And I still require my THC oil bath, Sam.
Biff reminded him, his voice clicking with a hint of mechanical fatigue.
Sam, my primary actuators are currently operating at 88% efficiency. The friction is distasteful. 6 hours.
Sam repeated, his eyes drifting back toward the craft where the ancient moon scrap sat waiting in the Tesseract.
Plenty of time to start a resurrection or end the world. Let's get to work.